Okay, good evening out there, everyone. Hope everyone's having a wonderful, blessed, joyful day. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. Hope you're all healthy and safe. So I'm gonna give my thoughts on tonight's Sunday night football game between the Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm not gonna do a long video on this game. I don't think there's much really to talk about this game due to the lack of Russell Wilson, who got injured last week. So I lead this game pretty much cutting right to the chase. It's going to come down to the limitations of both these teams. Now, going into the season, I thought Seattle's defense would perform a lot better, but and would be kind of what they were last year, which was like a bend don't break. So they would give a lot of yards, but once you got to the goal line, they would stop you. This year, they have been constantly just allowing teams to throw all over them, big plays all the time, almost every week, and they lose a lot of these games because Russell Wilson has to keep up the score, and with an offensive line that can't really block, that's not a good recipe, and that's kind of why he ended up injured. Other than the fact that Aaron Donald's a beast and a QB killer, if you want to put it that way. Um, what I mean by that, I mean like he gets the quarterback all the time, and he's caused a couple QB injuries just from a couple of hits and pressures. So, that being said, um, like I said, that's limitation. Seahawks limitation of Pittsburgh Steelers is Pittsburgh Steelers limitation. Like I said, all season long has been the offensive line. That's been my worry because I believe the offensive line was going to hold them back in pass protection, which has been a struggle for Big Ben the first couple of weeks. Finally, he was able to get a running game going with the offensive line. Najee Harris had his first 100-yard game of the season. Carried ball 23 times for 122 yards and a touchdown. So finally got something going positively for the offensive line in both pass and run protection. Um, Seattle's defense, like I said, other than having the getting thrown over, they've allowed 20 plus points in all the games except week one when he beat the one except week one when he won at the Indianapolis Colts, which he allowed the Colts only score 16. Every other game, they've allowed 20 plus points, even the ones he won, even the games he won. Um, but pretty much, like I said, this game is coming to us how well Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line performs tonight versus how well Seattle Seahawks defense performs tonight. And with that being said, no Russell Wilson, Geno Smith starts. I don't have confidence in Seattle Seahawks pulling the win on the road like I originally um, thought they would have a better chance. Originally, I went with the Pittsburgh Steelers still because I thought both these teams would be around each other. I thought the Steelers would be playing a lot better than they have been so far, and kind of Seattle too. I see how performed better than they have so far too. Um, but that being said, one second. Okay, sorry about that. Going back to the rest of my take, like I said, this game is going to be decided between the Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line, how well they're able to run it and pass block tonight, versus Seattle Seahawks defense, how well they're able to play and limit the Pittsburgh Steelers offense. Again, Russell Wilson's out. Geno Smith starts. It's kind of bad because Geno Smith was playing well, and I kind of right before he threw the pick, I predicted. I was with a couple friends of mine, and I was like, I feel like he's about to throw a pick, and then right, right as I didn't say it out loud because I wouldn't jinx, so I said it in my head, and as soon as I thought it, pick. So, I don't think he's gonna play as bad. I think he's a veteran. He's had time to kind of work with the ones now, not coming in on cold feet. I think he'll perform serviceable enough. I got the Steelers winning this game by a score of 27-20 at home, so a 7-point win for them. I believe the spread was Steelers by 5, so I had them beating the spread. Picks for the game, fantasy picks for the game. Starting with Seattle Seahawks, DK Metcalf is my fantasy pick. He caught a touchdown for Russell Wilson and Geno Smith last week, had 5 catches for 98 yards and 2 touchdowns last week. I believe DK Metcalf's got to use his ability and size to take advantage of this Pittsburgh Steelers secondary, because I don't think the Pittsburgh Steelers have a lot of holes. I looked at the entire defense. I can figure one hole for Seattle to take advantage of tonight. And even with Russell Wilson being gone, DK Metcalf, size is really the only reason I picked him because it's really hard for me to see Geno Smith be very productive. I think he'll be serviceable. I don't think he'll be very productive tonight. Defensive fantasy pick for Seattle Seahawks. I'm going with strong linebacker, which I think is the right outside linebacker. If I'm wrong, apologies. Anyway, I'm going with Darrell Taylor. He flashed last week in the rivalry game against Los Angeles Rams. So I think his ability to rush off the edge is going to be key in tonight's game. Pittsburgh Steelers have a questionable offensive line, so I think that's something to take advantage of. Edge rusher off the edge. The honorable mention here is Bobby Wagner because I believe he's going to be key in stopping the running game and keeping them kind of one-dimensional, limiting Najee Harris. Another one I thought was Carlos Dunlap, but I thought the side, I think if Carlos Dunlap, the left side of the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, I think is weaker than the right side. So that's why I went Darryl Taylor, because I think Taylor's going to be at the right side outside linebacker, which means he'll be on the left side of the offensive line, if you get my drift. But if Carlos Dunlap's on that side, then Dunlap's really my pick. But I think Taylor's going to be on that side, so that's why I went Taylor. But again, Bobby Wagner stopping Najee Harris is an honorable mention for me here. Pittsburgh Steelers fantasy picks. Pittsburgh Steelers, Chase Claypool had his most productive game on the season last week. 5 catches for 130 yards and a touchdown. I believe he gets it going again tonight. The Seahawks secondary at the corner position is questionable. The safeties, I think, are actually pretty good in Quandre Diggs and Jamal Adams. But even in pass protection, at times Jamal Adams can be taken advantage of. He's really very good in the box. Pass protection, sometimes he could get taken advantage of. So Chase Claypool, I believe, on the outside, take advantage of that in the passing game is the key for Pittsburgh Steelers tonight with his size. And then Najee Harris is my honorable mention because I believe they get the running game going. It's going to be a long day for Seattle Seahawks defense. Pretty simple here. Seattle Seahawks also doesn't have a great offensive line. It's kind of like Russell Wilson's out to week 10, which is killing my fantasy leagues. But, let's digress and not get personal here. So I'm going to go with the weak linebacker, TJ Watt. Pass rusher, one of the best pass rushers and defensive players in the league is TJ Watt, so he's my pick for tonight's game. They want to make it complicated. Honorable mention here is Cameron Haywood, the right DN for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Those are the 2 key pass rushers for Pittsburgh Steelers, so I want to make it complicated. Those are my picks against the questionable offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks. So that's my thoughts tonight's game. Again, got the Pittsburgh Steelers winning this game at home by a score of 27-20. I believe it will be a game of up and downs by both teams, but I believe Pittsburgh gets it done and pretty much holds the lead after Najee Harris touchdown to put them up 27-20. So that's my thoughts on tonight's game. Hope everyone continue to have a wonderful, blessed, joyful week. Life, live your best, be true to yourself. Keep doing good out in the world, guys. Peace, spreading positivity, love, and peace, and wish you guys the best. So that's my thoughts on tonight's game. Peace.